obviously we wanted to talk about Samba. I think people are not educated as enough about it as they should be. Just speaking from my personal experience, like for me, it was, oh, it's just some people dancing. I don't even know what the dance is and how it looks like and stuff like that. And then after speaking with you, Tony, I realized that, right, it has so many different angles to it, right, as well. So first of all, for anybody that, is viewing this and, hasn't seen you, haven't heard of you, could you just sort of give a bit of insight of your background and how kind of you see Samba?
Shall I go first?
Yeah. Makes sense if it's Samba school.
For Samba, fundamentally, underneath most forms of Brazilian music, you have this so instantly your mouth starts moving, right? And you have now what Danny was doing there was imitating one of the national instruments of Brazil, which is called a cuica, and it's a friction drum.
So Samba, basically what you're saying, sort of the one of the key things of Samba is the actual music rather than dance, right?
No, because Samba is actually more of a way of life. It's a philosophy, a way of going about life. It came out of the communities that they have in various different parts. First of all, Samba was referred to just what the blacks did. The dances they did, the festivals at which they danced, and in between, and it then became a particular what we were just doing there. That's a samba. Well, it's the underlying basis of a samba, but they also have other rhythms: maracatu, afoxé. And there's various other different things. There's a thing called capoeira, and they play something slightly different in capoeira. Yeah. Yeah. And that's like a martial arts disguised as a dance, if you like. And it was literally disguised as a dance because it was kind of what the lower orders did, if you like. And it's only when they had a war with, I think it was Paraguay, and they had a whole regiment of capoeiristas, because it can be a martial art, and they beat Paraguay using these capoeira.
Is capoeira in any way connected to Samba?
That he was playing he's going. And there's moves that go with that, and that's got a name, Salbenchi Granji.
The main groove you hear in capoeira is basically you hear that clap, or it's sometimes they do two claps, but it's that's the main groove. This mix, all that's mixing was faster, but basically capoeira came out of slavery, African slaves.
Like Samba came out of slavery.
Yeah.
So all the people that built Rio came south, I think not that long ago, actually, at the beginning of the 20th century. And they brought with them the traditions of what they used to do there's a religion called Candomblé, or three. There's Macumba, Candomblé, and I can't remember the other one. It doesn't matter, but those two are quite important. And there's drumming that occurs for each of the orishas. It's like the Catholic religion has God, the priesthood, the laity, and in between the laity, that is all the people, there are all these saints. Yeah. The saints are somewhere between the priesthood and God, really. And in capoeira, you have something similar where you have Olodumare, which is Almighty God, very distant, and then you have all these other principles, really, like Shango is associated with Wednesday and justice and metals and certain foods. And you play a rhythm, and when people get taken over by the rhythm, if you like, they become that god. The gods ride them. Yeah. It's the same religion as voodoo, and it's called Orisha voodoo, ancestor worship. Mm-hmm. But it became syncretized because they couldn't be seen to be doing something that was so African. So they said, "Oh, I'm not worshipping Shango. I'm worshipping." I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be St. Peter or something like that. Yeah. I'm worshipping that particular saint, and then the lie became a truth, if you like. So when they came south, they had all these religious rhythms they used to do, but some of them they liked, so they would then play them outside of the teher, or the temple, if you like. And then in the 1920s, I think it was, the very first Samba school, which was called Let Them Speak. The black people weren't allowed to take part in carnival. Carnival was quite different then. It was like...
Was the first school in Brazil?
The first school in Brazil was called Let Them Talk, Deja Falar. And they paraded peacefully in the street, and they dressed up, and they played music. But then it grew and grew, and it grew centered around different communities. And usually the Samba schools have a name that's to do with the community. For instance, one of my favorites called Mangueira, which means swamp, I think, or something like that. Right. And that's, I can't remember the name of the area that it comes from, but they have a particular way of playing where with Samba, you usually have, and that's the big drums, the surdos. And then you have you have things going. So you've got something going, as well as the. So that's making your feet move, or making dancers move, and then you'll have a variety of other instruments like the cuica, as well as something, my favorite instrument, the agogo bell, kinky gong gong gong, kinch gong gong, or as we play it's gong gong gong, king king gong king king gong gong king king gong king king gong gong king king gong king king gong gong king king gong king king.
It makes you want to move immediately. Like you can't really get away from it.